My name is Stacy, Eleczko, and I've been an educator for 12 years, the last 7 of those in North Carolina. I'm here to speak on behalf of the teachers who could not be here today. Thank you. I am here to speak on behalf of the teachers who could not be here today because they are at this very moment diligently working in their classrooms to ensure the best education for each and every student, your children, your neighbors' children, and our collective future. As an instructional coach, I have had the opportunity to be in and out of classrooms every day, as well as to collaborate with other teachers across the county. I continuously see firsthand the quality of instruction in our public schools. I have a very real fear that teachers will continue to leave this profession, or at the very least, our state en masse. Both Virginia and South Carolina have already thanked us for the highly qualified teachers and well-equipped college students that have joined their teaching forces instead of ours. The state of affairs in North Carolina is going to force out our very best teachers who labor to educate and inspire every day, as teaching truly is a labor of love. Teachers are not in this for the monetary rewards, but at the very least expect to enter into a respected profession in which they can continue to grow as learners and have a hand in touching many lives. There is no great teacher who does not continually strive to grow and develop as a professional. In years past, this is a quality that has been rewarded by advantages such as having national board certification paid for by the state, receiving master's pay, and having a wealth of professional development opportunities. As funding consistently decreases, the legislation has shown us that encouraging teachers to grow professionally is not a priority, which in turn says that students do not deserve to have quality teachers. Now, this has not stopped teachers from continuing to grow as professionals. We have an abundance of talented teachers who work from sunrise to sunset, on the weekends, and most spare moments in between, in order to keep up with the increased demands of being a teacher. Many present-day teachers are where they are today because of a teacher that made an impact in their life, and the others because they are dedicated, bright, caring, and compassionate individuals who wanted a career in which they could make a difference. Sadly, colleges in the state of North Carolina saw a decrease of almost 18% in the number of students enrolling in education programs. As the number of students who enter into our school system continues to grow, our highly qualified teachers are leaving it, or at least considering it. And who is going to be there to take their place? The lack of respect and monetary reward has led to the feelings of being demoralized and undervalued as a professional. Adjusted for inflation, teachers have taken almost a 16% decrease in salary over the past 5 years. In addition, the legislation has passed into law numerous programs and regulations that have required more and more time demanded of teachers outside of their regular working hours. Teachers are expected to keep up with increasing demands at an exponential rate. And what is the reason they continue to do it day after day? There is only one: the students. Our well-qualified teachers give every ounce of everything they have in order to ensure their students' success. How long can they continue to do this while struggling for their own livelihood? If the professional teachers we have in the classrooms today are replaced by barely trained workers, what will this do to our society? We are at a pivotal point in our state's history. In order to ensure successful public education for our future employees, employers, voters, and productive members of society, we must retain the highly qualified teachers that are standing in classrooms working alongside our children at this very moment. Recently, a dear friend of mine had to make a very difficult decision to resign from her teaching career for a job that would provide more financial support for her family. She walked away from her passion, not for monetary rewards, but for sustenance. Her story is not unlike many others. Don't let their actions be in vain. Let them be a wake-up call to urge us to do what is right. We must use this opportunity as a call to action. There's never been a more urgent time to contact your elected officials and make some noise. The funding of our education system, particularly teacher pay, must drastically improve, and soon. If our teachers are continually forced to fight just to keep their heads above water, it will be our students that drown. Thank you.
My name is Ewen. I am the mother to two sons who are in 3rd and 5th grade. And I just want to share some remarks with you today about what school teachers mean to me and to my family. First of all, I'm fed up with people who don't value teachers. Did these people not reach their station in life thanks to a teacher in some small way? I went to public school and private school. I attended a public state university and a private university for graduate school. My sons have gone to public school. I think I have a broad perspective on this issue. Let me start with a story about a teacher who made an impact in my life. My Latin teacher in 9th grade was outstanding. My older brother and I had Dr. Larrick, and we both continue to keep up with him on Facebook, and he continues to inspire. We marvel at what he taught us. Scratch that. We marvel at how he taught us. Latin, the dead language, came alive under the jovial, eager tutelage of Dr. Larrick. We both developed a lifelong love of language in those classes. We both credit our good grades and knack for grammar and language in large part to the time spent in those Latin classes. Dr. Larrick was a public school teacher. My sons have had equally outstanding teachers in public school. You just met one of them, Miss Eleczko. We joke in our family that she will go down in lore. When my sons are in college and they're writing their college essays about who inspired them, Miss Eleczko is likely going to be in one of those essays. My sons' teachers have challenged them, and they saw sparks of hope and promise. When my older son struggled to read, his teacher, Miss Eleczko, refused to give up on him. And more importantly, she refused to let him give up on himself. Her patience was saintly, and now this child is a voracious reader. It was a miracle indeed, trust me. My younger son was timid and weary for the first several months of kindergarten. We both cried until December of that first school year. School was a major adjustment for him. His teacher, in tune with his nature, yet never frustrated by it, encouraged him and made him feel safe. He eventually burst out of his shell and demonstrated remarkable academic prowess. She did more than teach my son how to read and count and write his name. She taught him to believe in himself. She gave him confidence. To this day, my sons name these teachers, Miss Eleczko and Miss Otis, as their favorites and realize the debt they owe these women. My boys remarked that it's unfair that teachers don't get paid as much, while singers like Bruno Mars and football players get paid millions. It should be the other way around, they exclaimed at dinner the other night. The children in our lives speak with unparalleled wisdom, no? Sure, all teachers come in all shapes and sizes. They come to the classroom from various states of zeal and happiness. Their paradigms are varied and their perspectives are colored by experience, time, and the like. They are no different from any other profession. We've all had stellar and shoddy doctors, bosses, mechanics, contractors, tailors, flight attendants, lawyers, the list goes on. Why single out teachers? Consider this. What if your corporate job handed you a team of people you had no say in choosing? You're charged with teaching this team the fundamentals of XYZ in your industry. You have about 6 hours a day of instruction and you're the sole person teaching. You have few resources or materials. Your group is comprised of people who live with persistent hunger, people who have limited proficiency in English, people who've been sleeping in a shelter or in their car, people who are in pain but have no access to medical attention, people who have no money for books and basic materials, people who require special services, people who are singled out for being different, people who have attention deficit disorders, people who have come from illiterate families, people who cannot see but cannot afford eyeglasses, people who come from abusive relationships. This is what a teacher is dealt. Imagine being productive in an environment where you have little control and cannot impact the very basic needs that drive success under your watch. Now imagine you have to fight for every ounce of respect society doles out and every cent on your paycheck. Imagine you were judged solely on what your group can accomplish with no regard to how hard you tried and how dedicated you were. Imagine the battles teachers face just to be valued, socially, professionally, financially. If you ask me, teachers should be at the very top of the totem pole. For without them, we would be nothing. Everyone's so focused on her own kid that the collective greater good gets completely lost. If we harness the energy and goals of our community, we would see all kids lifted up. But everyone staggers in the blindness of me, me, me. There's an awful lot of energy spent trash talking to win elections rather than actually getting down to work to put more North Carolinians to work. At the core of finding stable work is a solid education. An educated community creates a safe, empowered, vibrant, stable community for us all. The children of today are going to be the ones caring for us in our world and the future. A disservice to them now will be a burden to us all later. Teachers are first responders. We entrust our most cherished loves to these people, yet don't trust them to lead, teach, nurture, and influence their own profession. We've bastardized this profession, putting profits over pupils. We've turned children into pawns that drive revenue streams. The tone we've taken as a nation to degrade teachers is deplorable. We should be ashamed. I leave you with this sentiment from M.R. Robinson, the founder of Scholastic. Few things are more important to society than finding ways to help teachers teach and help children learn. Thank you.